Coach, just talk about how preseason is going and what things you're happiest about to this point.
I think in practice, you're sort of focused on exactly what's going on right now. We had 2 really good practices. We have another close scrimmage this weekend, and then we open up at Butler. So I think the guys and myself and the staff are starting to feel we're ready to go. You know, it's time to play somebody else that's wearing a different color jersey and to get into that. So I'm excited about it.
Next question.
Amir, tell me about this team right now. What are you projecting?
For Amir, me?
Miles and Amir.
Miles,
Sorry.
both of us.
Really?
Go ahead.
We're returning us 3, and then we have a lot of young guys on the team that I think are going to contribute and play significant minutes, and then a lot of sophomores that hadn't really played. So, I like the direction things are going right now. We're just pulling guys along, getting them used to how we know how to play and how we want to imprint games. So I like the way things are going.
All right, your shot.
It's going well so far. As you said, we got some young guys, but it's up to us to kind of lead, show them that experience. But we've had a good start, and it's just getting better by each day, and trusting the process.
Wow.
What's up, guys? Amir, you've probably played more games than anybody in a Princeton uniform here. What's it like being a senior and B, part of a defending champ?
So I've seen it, and I know how hard it is to win, and it's not going to be easy. So it's just try and stress that every day at practice, and know that every day we got to compete and got to bring our best because it's going to be tough to win.
And Mitch, what are your hopes for Amir and the other veterans on this team, leadership-wise and also experience-wise going into the season?
Well, a lot of the leadership is right here, and we have a senior class of 4, and the expectations is that they would bring the level up and then bring the rest of the group with them. And like I said before, I think that they've been doing that, and it's just about doing it every day. We lost a lot of minutes, but it's a different kind of a team, but I think we could be equally as good, if not better, in some areas, including defensively.
What do you see right now as strengths of the team and biggest areas of concern?
I think in terms of the strength, I think we're a little bit further ahead than we were a year ago defensively. And then you find out where the schedule's so challenging. We really challenged ourselves, put ourselves out there in terms of, I think, with this group you can do it. But we'll find out really quickly if we're as far ahead as we think we are. But I think, Miles, and these guys understand this too, but Miles is able to guard other teams' best players, and that gives you an opportunity to be in any game because everybody's got really good players, and then the other 2 guys here, have so much experience on the defensive end. So our goals are where they've always been. We've got to defend and make sure we're making each other better on each possession. And I'm encouraged. I really like what we're seeing.
What about in the post with Will and Alec? Who you looking at in the post?
We recruit guys that can play lots of different positions. So, today Amir was telling me he should be in the post more often. And he was successful. The one time he caught it down there, he scored in the post and probably drew a foul. So we're going to post up everybody. Maybe not Devin as much, but everybody wants to play in the post. But when the rubber hits the road and we really start to get into the thick of it, Miles, Will, Alec, we have some freshmen that are very good in the post. I think Amir's going to have some advantages down there. So we like to go inside and out.
Hey, Miles. I was wondering, just kind of, last season you obviously stepped into being a starter a little bit mid-season, and by the end of the year you kind of emerged as one of the top 2 players in this league. Got some accolades. I was curious kind of how you responded from that in the offseason, just, getting so much attention and just stepping up now as an upperclassman. What areas of your game have you looked to improve, and what's kind of been your mindset since breaking out last season?
So I try to approach every season the same with different goals in mind. So in terms of season, working hard, just working on different things. I think I can improve little things, still working on my shot, ball handling, and then one big thing is just leadership like we've been talking about. We need leadership coming from us 3. So that's definitely one thing I'm working on, like on-court leadership. And then, just trying to do the things that will help the team win. So defensively, whatever I can do guarding the best player. Offensively, if it's getting in the post or getting Devin shots, setting screens for him, setting drag screens for Amir. So whatever it is, just to help the team win. That's what I'm trying to do.
Is there a sense of going into this season? I mean, now that you're kind of one of the alphas, is there a little bit more pressure for you, or I mean, with these three guys? I mean, obviously, there's some depth questions this team has to answer, and now that you've kind of emerged as one of these top players in this team, that you feel a little bit of pressure to lead this team.
I mean, the pressure, it may or may not be there, but at the end of the day, it's just a game. We're just playing basketball, and then when you're playing it, you're just locked in, and then all that goes away. So at the end of the day, we're just playing basketball.
Miles, Amir, I ask this question every year, but what's it like having a significant chunk of this team be from New Jersey, and what does that mean to you guys that that's a big part of Princeton basketball now? Because that wasn't always the case.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of Jersey pride, especially coming from us too. So it's always nice, be able to play in the state you grew up and represent New Jersey. So hopefully it keeps going on for a couple more years. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, just having places to go on breaks, like going home for Thanksgiving, your house, my house. Family comes to games that are local or up in New York or Philly. It's nice just to have a bunch of guys that are from the area on the
Mitch,
team.
I want to include Elijah in this because he's from our backyard. What do you see from him? How will he contribute this year?
I mean, he's very athletic, and he can put himself in different kinds of positions on the court that we've had success with guys at his size. He also can shoot. He's coming out of a little bit of an injury, so we haven't seen him as much as we'd like. But he's going to be. I think he has potential to be a very high-level defender, and and also making shots from the perimeter. So I'm really excited about getting him involved.
I had a question for Devin too. The shot against Notre Dame. How much have you replayed that in your mind? How much that kind of motivated everybody in the off season to take this one step further?
I think the guys at this table, we remember the whole game. I specifically remember the shot. And that's just been fuel to the fire in the off season and coming into this year, knowing where we've been, and we were one shot away, one play away. And so the goal is to get back there to win games in the tournament. But that's definitely just been motivation in the off season.
Devin, just what things have you worked on in your game? How are you a better player this year than last year?
I think for me, the primarily is the mental side of the game. Upperclassmen now. We have senior leadership that went out the door, and so for me, as a guard, I know I can knock down shots, and that's my bread and butter. But for me, defensively, being focused, making sure we're locked in, making sure that we're getting the best shot, not turning the ball over on offense. And primarily with the offseason, we have 10 days left until we're playing another team. Just make sure we're focused in whatever way I can lead to do that. So that's kind of what my focus has been.
Mitch, what are your thoughts on the freshman group, and are any of them going to contribute right away, you think?
Yeah, actually, I think it's as far as freshmen go, it's as good of a group as we've had since I've been here, and we've had some really great groups. But as a whole, what I like about what they're doing is they've made themselves coachable. They're listening, they're asking for input from these guys, which is all you can ask for. Not that you don't know everything yet, right? And they want what these guys have, and they're willing to go through that together as a group. And you've got to be vulnerable in that process. So I think all of them are going to be helpful. Ryan Schwieger, Jerome DeRozier's, Sebastian Much, Elijah Barnes, who we talked about, and Charlie Bagan. It's a good group.
You kind of touched on it, but we'll talk about starting with Butler and BYU. You get thrown right into the fire there.
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly what we wanted to be challenged. And I want, last year we played a difficult schedule, and this is even more difficult. I think it's one of the most difficult schedules we've played in over 20 years. Non-conference, we're on the road in some really difficult places to play. But it'll come down to the same things that it always comes down to. You've got to take care of the ball, especially on the road. We lost a really difficult game at BYU to open up last year, so we're happy to have them back here. Got to make shots when you're open and get really good shots. I don't know. We talked about this a lot. This is a goal of ours, is to use obviously the non-conference season as an opportunity to get better, to prepare us for the league. But this group has bigger goals in mind, which I really like.
How would you describe just the challenge, this offseason of, coming into this year with so many new pieces and trying to figure out this rotation with losing guys versus last year where you had so much of the nucleus coming back?
You mentioned earlier about Miles, and I was the knucklehead that didn't play him. So that question should be directed to me. But I had lots of thoughts going into last season, and that changed completely in the middle of December. All of a sudden, we're a completely different group. We have a shorter rotation, and what I learned from a year ago is you don't make your mind up. And watching and seeing where we are now, I think there's a lot of pieces, and I'm looking forward to it. But all really I'm focused on at this point is making sure that we can continue to. Can we have another good practice tomorrow? And how do we respond from having a couple good practices in a row? Honestly, that's a little cliche, but that's what it is. I think the Astros general manager last night said, "One game at a time." Even though it was Game 7, he did. He said, we take it one day at a time, but we're doing the same thing.
Amir, these two guys next to you, from this time last year, how would you describe their progress?
They've had tremendous growth. Miles, as we saw last year in the Ivy tournament and just throughout the whole Ivy League season, he's an incredible defender, great offensively, can score inside and out. And then Devin, he's just an explosive threat, and he's been getting so much better defensively and as a leader. And I just love watching them grow, and it's great having them with me in leadership, and they've been a great help. And with these two, I feel like I'm really confident, especially in them, knowing that they're going to have my back and that they are going to lead the team to where we need to be.
To any of you three guys, a marketing pitch, if you will. Why should we spend our money to come watch you guys play?
If you like basketball, just come. We play together, good defense. There may be some highlight plays, whether that's threes or highlight dunks, but I think it would be the best ticket in town.
Mitch, Coach Carrill's been around a lot here. Is that typical, or has he been around more this year?
Yeah, no, he's around. He's here all the time. These guys think he's like a grandfatherly type, really gentle and nice. Nice now, but we love having him around.
You answered my next question.
Devin, I was just curious, you and Miles last 2 years, just how have you guys bonded together, and now stepping up as upperclassmen, how have you guys sort of, taken on this added, pressure of, having to lead, and psychologically, how has that impacted you guys off the court going into this season?
Well, you keep using the word pressure, and I don't think for Miles and I it's pressure at all. Honestly, we're stepping in a role that as juniors where we see that our actions on the court, how we play, we give max effort every practice, and I think that in itself is the kind of leadership, and that's something that we've grown together learning how to do. We came in here as freshmen not knowing anything. The Princeton offense, all I've done was pick and rolls and shoot threes, and now we're cutting, moving the ball, and we both were learning that as freshmen. And then as sophomores, we both took on different roles and expanded those roles, and now we're leaders. The three of us are captains, and our focus is getting better every day defensively. Staying together as a team, and in 10 days we'll see what kind of product we can produce.
For Mitch and for Devin, heading into this Butler game, what are your thoughts? What are you looking forward to heading to your home state? What is it going to take to win this game?
Go ahead. I'm looking forward to getting a chance to get back to the Midwest, get back home. I know Coach Henderson's excited, but regardless whether we're playing Indianapolis, here or anywhere, we're just focused on playing the best basketball we can for 40 minutes, and then we'll evaluate it afterwards. Are we playing the best brand of basketball that Princeton basketball brings, or is Butler dictating the game for us? So it's a Big East team. It's back home. I know I'll have a lot of fans there. And if you see, it may be a Princeton home game, so you don't know. There's going to be a lot of fans, a lot of alums. We're looking forward to just playing Princeton basketball.
What he said. That's perfect.